is Paul. Yes. Considering the issuance of the dissolution of marriage, right, and the protection order that happens to be fraudulent and has forgeries, I have the right to have the Adam Walsh laws enforced. And for you to say, well, he's crazy, yes, and then make up crimes where I hadn't left the county for years, because I got here on August 21st of 2014 thinking that the protection order was going to expire after 1 year, yes. Then I waited another year because I went and spoke to Brian Smith at the police station, yeah. And then you decided to reissue it in 2015, and then I emailed you on November 20th of 2015 that my right to due process was being violated, yes. Then I did that for about a year. For the last, 3 years, it's getting close to that time, yeah. I've informed you that my sons have been kidnapped, abducted, and are missing. Now, the dissolution of marriage is fraudulent. You did not give me any notice or opportunity to be heard. You did not issue it according to the requirements of the court rules of numerous counties of the state of Washington. And you are not representing the people of the state of Washington. I'm suing you for violating the Adam Walsh child abduction and exploitation laws. Now, I just wanted you to know, if you spend the rest of your lives in prison because of being virtualized, as in you're not in reality of what the actual laws say, it's not my fault, because I'll sue you for everything you own, okay? Now, I just thought I'd look here in the Black's Law Dictionary. The statement of fact. A declaration that asserts or implies the existence or non-existence of a fact. These court rules in other counties, yes, those are known as FACTS, not FAX. They're facts. When you have a certain number of days that you have to give notice to the respondent of court hearings, the fact is you cannot have a court hearing within those number of days. This is the statement of a fact. Yes. When you cannot have court hearings without proof of service, it's a statement of fact. These are the laws of the state of Washington. Yes, they are. Now, I know that the statement of an account, a report issued periodically, usually monthly, by a bank customer. I've thought about your bank accounts, every oath of office in the United States, and how I'd like to have your bank accounts put in my non-existent bank account that I'd like to open. Why don't you give me each monthly statement that you've had sent to you in PDF format from all of your personal institutions? The last statement I got, Heidi's name was still on it. Shush. Now, in the law of Kosovo, if you look at that from the United Nations, this thought of her not having my last name, yes, was something I wanted to see happen. I wanted to adopt somebody that I love the face of, and I wanted her to have my last name, and I wanted to adopt another woman, yes, that she does know of, that it wasn't the attractiveness of my face that I was... She wasn't that attracted to the way that I look. Now, we know how to love each other, don't we? Yes, we do. So why don't you get me the monthly statement that's sent out from each of the financial institutions that you have an account in? Yes. And exactly how is that titled? Is that titled in your name? Yes. Is it titled in the name of yourself and your spouse? Because I'm going to want to know the last 25 years of account statements. The email address they were sent to. Did you go paperless? You got tired of getting that mail. Now give me the last 40 years of account statements of every oath of office, every attorney, judge and justice and court commissioner, every sheriff and every police officer. Now, you don't have a separate email address specifically for your own personal account statements or the paperless bills that you've been paying online from your bank accounts that don't go to the email account that I don't know of, do you? Now, I noticed when I was going through the Cook Islands and the Fiji Islands, yes, you can have international bank accounts. And you can set up LLCs that have some better benefits than setting them up in the United States. Yes, yes. Why don't you give me all the overseas bank accounts from any of those islands where you thought you'd just have a little vacation to the Fijis or Cook Island? I'm sure it's beautiful there. Honeymoon. And you'd open a little account with a few $1,000s, and then you kept doing wire transfers offshore. Yes, you did. Just get me all the law firms, the legal firms, because I emailed them this afternoon. I'm sure money laundering is an international crime. Yes. As well as the asset management. Do you get a quarterly statement from your brokerage? Because when I was a financial consultant, why don't you give me all the paperless statements of everything that you have ownership of? Or you say you don't, but you do. You got a trust, an LLC? Oh, gee whiz. Now, when I get to suing those that are in the government, okay, I'm going to want those statements when I put a lien. And I know it sounds funny, but a report issued periodically by a creditor. Do you get monthly statements for your mortgage, or does that go to a different email address? You have a car loan that I don't know about? You've been paying the car payments for somebody else in the payroll? You've been paying the credit cards for anybody other than yourself? I know, but I'm going to want to know all the account statements and every email address that you never look at, because in your mind, yes, it doesn't matter, okay? They send the account statement out every month. I never go to that email address. I just go into the bank and I know how much money's in there, okay? I don't need to read it. Now, as that American citizen, why don't you think of your assets as being my assets, okay? Because I'm getting a little upset about it.